this transparency initiative, which you channeled into, all right, we need to target the different ways that people learn. People are visual learners, some people are audio learners, some people are kinetic learners, like that kind of stuff. And that's where your transparency initiative kind of led you to taking these other, the newsletter and things like that. I want to take a step back. I really want to get into the podcast, but I do want to take a step back and look at this transparency. And I want to ask you, why is transparency important, and how can people in a community use transparency in their government for their benefit?
So transparency is important because the work I'm doing, the work we're doing, is to make the community better. Mm-hmm. And if we're not showing what we're doing, if it's all tell, then I think that you're missing an opportunity to both educate and do outreach. But also, we live in a world where proof is in the pudding. And so I think that having that transparency, being able to say, come on in and look at this, it engages people. It shows them what you're doing, but it also gives a feedback opportunity, because someone can come and say, I read about this. Have you tried doing it this way? Mm-hmm. And there's a fear, I think, on some people's parts, that when people question, that it's an attack. And if you're not always looking to improve things and you're not looking to be dynamic, then you're going to be static. And if you're static, you're dead. Mm-hmm. So having the transparency, in my mind, provides an opportunity for additional feedback and criticism. Really, constructive feedback, constructive criticism is a good thing.
Yeah.
Getting that allows us to continue to improve. I mentioned earlier, I've been here 25 years. One of the reasons I'm still here is because we're a learning organization. And I think that having that ability to say, great, we did that project, how could we do it better, is important. And that feedback doesn't just come from the people in this building. It comes from the stakeholders that are enjoying what we've improved or what we've done.
Yeah.
And getting the feedback and doing better next time only makes things better.
So this feedback loop that you're talking about, it reminds me a little bit about, in my field, I do web development. Okay. And we do what are referred to as like sprints or Scrum. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
So in Scrum, you do a commitment period. Normally it's like 1 to 3 weeks. Most common is 2 weeks. And you commit to an amount of work. Once you finish that commitment of work, it doesn't matter if you finished it, if you didn't finish it. Once the commitment period is over, there's a ceremony at the end of it where you review the process and you review the commitment. Did we overcommit?
Yep.
Did we undercommit? Did we lose any efficiency along the way? Does this affect what we're going to commit to next?
So does it give you the opportunity to then say, okay, we need to pivot?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's pretty neat.
That pivot part is the most valuable part, because if you commit to 6 months, there is no pivot. And if you make a mistake in month 1, you're 5 months down the line before you can change anything. So
and the aircraft carrier takes too long to turn.
Yeah. And so that every 2 weeks, it's supposed to be you basically reevaluate your position and what your next commitment should be. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that's one of the things that you guys are trying to accomplish with your transparency thing.
Absolutely. And to that point, one of the things that we've done, which I don't know any other communities in the state that have gone this far. On the website, we have something called Transparent Dover, and the real focus of it is our budget. You can go in and you can put in your address and find out how much you paid in property taxes, which is the main income source here in New Hampshire for a community. So you can go in, you can type in your address, you can find how much you paid in property taxes, and then you can drill down and see where every dollar goes.
Wow.
It doesn't give you the opportunity to say, I don't want to pay for that, I want to pay for this instead. But it gives you the opportunity to say, wow, when my bill went in, this is everything that funded. Mm-hmm. And then it gives you a better understanding of how we are using your money. I like to say, in municipal budgeting, every dollar has a job. We make sure to utilize those funds, because if we don't, we shouldn't collect it. And so if we can't justify why we're using it and what we're doing with it, how we're improving the community, you shouldn't have to pay it.
And the transparency part kind of makes sure that you are doing that, because
Right.
anyone can go and look and see if you're wasting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.